Wow. Okay, so our NFL analyst, Keyshawn Johnson, here with us. Clearly, I wanted him to weigh in on this. First reaction, Eli being benched.
Somebody's stupid right now. That's the first thing I said. I'm like, why are you benching Eli Manning in favor of Geno Smith? Or the rookie? I would understand the young kid in Webb. I get it. But let him finish the season. I mean, you say, I guess he said in his presser that he wanted to see what Geno can give him. Well, all you got to do is go back and look at the Jets and look at your preseason. You know what Geno Smith is. That's not hard at all. Eli Manning is not the reason that the New York Giants are suffering right now. They're missing their top player in Odell Beckham. Brandon Marshall is gone. They can't run the football. The offensive line is not up to snuff. The defense isn't playing the way they did a year ago. None of those positions of those players that I mentioned is named Eli Manning. Not one.
Oh, how do you think the locker room, though, will respond to Geno Smith?
I mean, right now, I'm thinking the locker room, for the most part, they're thinking about Cabo right now.
Okay.
You sent the message to them to say, you know what? Y'all might want to start planning that trip to Minnesota to go hang out at all the parties, Kerry, rather than, you know, try to make the game, because you're not going to make that. And I don't know why such a bold move. Where did that come from? Who did it come from?
You know what?
Did it come from the general manager?
So here's my thought, because you know about the front office. If you had to predict, you talked about this coach and the GM right now, what do they look like at the end of the season for benching Eli?
But it's not from benching Eli. It's from everything overall. They toast. Oh, they toast. They done. And I think they know that. How could you not? They're in the city of New York. New York's not going to sit up and play with that. You seen what happened at the University of Tennessee. They went bananas on that. And imagine what the New York fan base is going to do to the general manager and Coach McAdoo. I mean, even Tom Coughlin, who's an executive of another team, has come out and said something, and you never see that. You never see another executive of another team talk about a team at any level that he was a former coach of or general manager of, especially during the season when he's employed by another team.
Yeah, but you also know he might have an axe to grind since he was fired.
It doesn't matter, though. They just don't do that. They don't do that. So that just goes to show you the type of respect that he has for the general manager as well as the head coach.
Or the ownership.
Or the ownership, but the respect that he has for Eli Manning as a quarterback.
So let me ask you this. Okay, so we see Eli very emotional, and it was hard to watch.
Yeah, he was holding them back.
There were questions at the beginning of the year, is it time for the Giants to move on from Eli? Not necessarily for Geno, but just in general. Those questions, to be honest, were there, were they not?
At 37 years old, it's time to look at times to drafting a guy. I've been saying this for weeks now. Is it Josh Rosen? Is it Sam Darnold? Is it Allen? Is it Rudolph of Oklahoma State? It's got to be a quarterback in place in the waiting when that time comes. And if you think those two guys that's on that roster is the answer, I mean, come on. But here's what I would say. What if they just trying to tank to move up? They only maybe 2 games out of the spot of getting the number 1 pick overall.
At 2-9,
yeah, so I'm not that Cleveland is going to all of a sudden win 2 games.
Okay, lastly, I got to go. They're telling me, but the great Bob Lee says loyalty is a liability. We see it everywhere in this business. Why are we so shocked by this?
It's not them moving on. It's how they did it right now. The season's not over. Do it at the end of the year. Do it at the end of the year.
They toast. Keyshawn Johnson.
Toast. You know what that means?
Over. Done with. Thank you for joining.